Yes, yes, yes. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Rush from the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. We play Burnley in a few short hours, and as always, before each game, we try and predict the starting 11. I think today's going to be quite an interesting starting 11, based on the David Moyes press conference and the fact we've had the international break and the Premier League is back and it's live. We know from the Moyes press conference that Antonio is out. Antonio won't be playing, and he'll be probably back in about 2-3 weeks' time, roughly. When it comes to Jared Bowen, he said, we hope to have him back for the Burnley game, but we need to assess that tomorrow. So he's not ruled him out, but he's not ruling him in at the same time. So we don't know. Kudus, he didn't speak about Kudus. So whether that, if he was out, I think he would say he's out. We know that Antonio and Bowen have both had injuries, which meant they left their respective international camps early. Antonio's was more severe. He was actually playing a game, went off after 18 minutes of a hamstring injury. Whereas Bowen, it was in training and it was a minor injury. And by the sounds of it, what we've heard is it's some sort of fluid on his knee, potentially. And he was feeling it in training. But he did drive himself apparently into training when he returned. And so, yeah, Kudus has always had this back injury. It got exacerbated. I love that. That's my word of the day. With maybe the flight to Ghana. He didn't train one day, but then ended up making a 45-minute appearance in the second half for the international match against Chorus. And then obviously there was the flight back. So it was not ideal. So it might have just aggravated the back a little bit. But I think he'll be okay. But I'm not a doctor. So we're going to do a couple of teams. We're going to do one where Antonio's out, but everyone else is fit. And then we'll try and have a tinker. Let's crack on. So let's see what we can do. Let's have a go, shall we? Let's have a go. So, and I think it's relatively easy, in all honesty. If Bowen's fit, if Kudus is fit, I think it's quite easy. So let's start. Let's do it this way, so I'm not on some sort of half looking at the camera at the same time. So for me, Areola's in goal. Simple as. Interesting what Didier Deschamps was saying about Areola. He's very much the third choice goalkeeper at the moment for the French squad. And Didier has basically said he needs to prove to me in the next couple of international breaks that he deserves basically to be second or even first. So, it's something about Didier Deschamps and West Ham, wasn't it? He didn't get Payet into the side until basically Payet was one of the world's best players, and then he put him in the side. So he has form. Let's go back four. Emerson, Aguerd, who came back from Morocco. Okay, he was believed. He went through concussion protocols at West Ham. Because the concussion he got from Souček, but obviously ended up training, and did he? I think he played, didn't he, for Morocco in their second game, I believe. So he's all right. Then we've got Curti Boy Zuma, and then I think the naughty boy Vladimir Soufal. Naughty Vladimir Soufal. He'll be there as well. So I think that's your back four. That's actually pretty much your starting back for the Premier League back four, isn't it? That's it. It is what it is now. There's some, for me personally, I'd probably prefer Mavropanos instead of Zuma. I might even prefer back three, really, with Aguerd playing at the left-hand side, Zuma playing in the middle, and Mavropanos playing on the right-hand side. Emerson as a left fullback. I mean, I prefer Tilo Kehrer as a right wing back, but Vladimir would probably get the nod, but we'll go with a back four. I think we will. And then Edson Alvarez, absolute cracking goal he scored for Mexico. Check it out. Dying embers of their qualifying game. And then didn't Santiago Jimenez score the winning penalty, or I don't know, but he scored an absolutely cracking penalty as well. Then it's 4 across the midfield. Paqueta playing the sort of on paper on the left-hand side, but he's not. I think JWP plays. Then it's Souček, who's on a bit of a scoring. Well, he's scoring for fun at the moment, particularly in the internationals, and he's got his new celebration, his windmill sort of helicopter. If Kudus is fit, which I'm assuming he is, then he plays on the right hand side, and then for me, then Bowen up top. Bowen up top. I think that is the side. To be honest, that is probably our strongest 11 at the moment. Well, on paper. I mean, people might say, oh, Thomas Souček, maybe they might take Souček out, move Paqueta into the middle, which I probably would prefer them doing, and then putting Ben Rama on the left-hand side, possibly. But if we're all fit, that's what I think we'll go with. If Bowen's fit, if Kudus is fit, we're going with that. If Bowen's not fit, then what I think happens is simply he comes out, and I don't agree with it, but he'll go up front. And it'll be almost like this. He'll pull back a little bit. He'll go there and he'll play almost like a 10. And again, I'm not saying this is what I'd do, but that's the likelihood would happen. And there'll be balls pumped up to Souček to nod down for Danny Ings. I mean, ideally, in an ideal world, we know we'd the 99% of people, there'll always be one person, would prefer Divin to be playing, and then you go back to your 4 with him in the middle. That's what I think I would like to see. To be honest, if I'd like, yeah, I would, because I think actually, to be honest, I think for a game like this, I think Thomas Souček is actually really useful as a lump. We know that Burnley are notoriously bad at set pieces, and we're quite good at them. So actually play to our strengths and shithouse our way to 3 points. I'd rather, because that's what Arsenal did. Dan from Turf Moorhouse said that's what Arsenal did. They literally came and shithoused us and played for corners. And that's Arsenal. So, the flamboyant football that Arsenal play, they were playing, and so because they had Saliba and they had, Ben White, big centre halves, and Burnley were leaking goals and set pieces. So I think that's why we try and play. If here we go. If say Kudus is out as well, if Kudus is out, then it changes things a little bit. I think if Kudus is out, I would say Ings still plays, Souček still plays that 10 role. These two go like this, and then probably someone like Fornals plays on the right hand side. Fornals has been in the West Ham recently. It was on the West Ham official website. Talk about the Burnley game. Talk about how the side are going to play and how we're going to play. And so I think if worst case scenario all 3 are out, I think that's the side we'll end up going with. It might change. He might think that actually he might go to 3 at the back. You never know. And so, but I think that's the worst case scenario. It's still not a bad side. Again, I'd prefer not to have Danny on his own. I'd love him to play 2 up top with Divin and Danny, the D&D, because I think that'd be a really interesting partnership. And I think Divin would learn a lot from Danny, and Danny would have a strike partner. But it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen, innit? But anyway, let me know in the comments below if you want to, say, put a scenario in. Say, Bowen is injured. This is the side I go with. Bowen and Kudus are out. This is the side I go with. That type of thing. So I'm really fascinated. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in about a couple of hours' time. But anyway, keep an eye on the channel. All that good stuff. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith.